Monday, Foxes. Mrs. Spillman here with the weekly announcements. So let's see what we have going on here at Farmdale. All right, to start, we are in the last week of January and we still are on excellence, which is striving to be the best you can be and doing the best you can. And you can do this by setting small goals and working hard to achieve them, trying your best every day and never giving up. And remember, our strategy is to read or listen to instructions carefully and follow them carefully. And we will be celebrating our Student of the Month for excellence on Friday. All right, so results from last week from the drawing of the 23rd. If you are on the drawing of the 23rd, you get to pick up your prize today, Monday, January 27th. So for kinder, we have Charlene, Manuel, and Alana. And for first grade, we have Abigail, Jeremiah, and Dominic. In second grade, we have Serenity, Alan, and Kaylin. In third grade, we have Hannah, Jesse, and Iker. In fourth grade, we have Elijah R., Nathaniel, and Ricardo. And for fifth grade, we have Arabella, Violet, and Jordy. So congratulations. If you were called, you can go make sure you pick up your prize on today. And don't forget, we are finishing up the challenge. This is the Beat the Bell Challenge for the month of January. So we have prize days. We are going to see which class is going to get that party for having the best attendance. All right, don't forget the band schedule. We are on a regular week. Make sure you have your instruments daily. It's just something great to make sure you remember when you have your instrument day or band day. All right, field trips this week on the 30th, which is Thursday, our TK will be taking an Amtrak train field trip, so have lots of fun on that train. Wednesday is a minimum day this week because we have a full week, so Wednesday is a minimum day. Make sure your parents know to pick you up at 1:30. All right, like I said, Flagpole Friday. We are going to be honoring our Student of the Month for Excellence. Mrs. Vu's class is going to lead the way. Can't wait to see them up on stage. And it's also Crazy Hair Day, so make sure you start planning your crazy hairdos. And I will be doing a drawing this Friday for the Crazy Hair Day. So if you do crazy hair, your name is going in a drawing to win some prizes. All right, Kindness Week is coming up. It is not until Track Off Week, but we want you to be prepared so that you can get whatever you need. So Monday is You Got a Friend in Me. Dress as your favorite Toy Story character, or if you have anything Toy Story, that works. Tuesday is Incredibles. Wednesday is a Cars. Thursday is anything blue or your favorite Luca character, and Friday is To Wear Your Heart's Day. We're actually in school on Valentine's Day. It's so cool, and we have 2 teachers that have Valentine's Day birthdays. So very exciting to be in school on Valentine's Day this year. Track tryouts are coming, so Mrs. Robertson wanted you guys to get ready. It will be after break, but March 4th will be 4th grade tryouts, and March 6th will be 5th grade tryouts from 2:45 to 3:30. All right, prom night is coming Thursday, February 6th at the fairgrounds. It'll be from 5 to 7. Get dressed up. Bring your parents as a date. No older siblings that go to Weaver High School. No younger siblings that don't go to Farmdale. I just want you to come and have a good time with your parents, your mom, your dad, whichever one can come. Maybe an aunt can bring you. I want you just to come and have a good time with them. All right, tonight is the night. It is today. Peter H. Reynolds is on campus. He is doing your assemblies today. So some of you might not see the announcements till after your assembly. So I hope you say thank you to him for coming. But tonight we have our family literacy night. So he will be here with all kinds of activities for you to do in the cafeteria. So make sure you bring your parents tonight at 5 o'clock. All right, student council meeting for all class representatives on Thursday in Mrs. Cecil's classroom, 8 o'clock. All right, Lost and Found. Don't forget to pick up your stuff after recesses. Our Lost and Found is starting to grow bigger. So make sure you're picking up your stuff and taking care of it. All right, we are looking for our next Fox to Watches because the nominations are due Friday, February 7th, so we can make that announcement when we track off on the 14th. So we are looking for our Fox to Watches. Those are students who go above and beyond that we don't always recognize. They just always do the right thing. So make sure we get those nominations in. All right, volleyball is for 3rd through 5th grade students only. Make sure to be safe and get along out there on the volleyball court. Basketball and soccer, reminder, if you're playing too rough on the basketball court, or volleyball court, or the soccer field, you'll lose that privilege. Rough play leads to injuries, and we already have students on the list that can't play. We want you to play, so you just have to have fun. All right, hula hoops, don't forget they are made for hula hooping. They're not made for swinging or throwing or spinning. They are for hula hooping, so make sure you keep it around your waist. All right, and again, your playground game should include no hitting, tagging, or pushing. I have been out there and I've had to tell some of you to stop, and you're like, oh, we're just having fun, until it's not fun anymore. So make sure you're not touching anyone. And if it doesn't belong to you, leave it alone, and leave things at home that you don't want others to get. But again, if it doesn't belong to you, it's not yours to touch. And the slides, don't forget those new Uggs. They are sure cute, but they don't have a back. So make sure you have a back on your foot when you come to school. That includes your Crocs. They need to be in sport mode. So all shoes need to have a back on them, so that way you're good when you're running around. And if you want to play on the new equipment, you need to make sure you're wearing tennis shoes. All right, Live the Creed goal is 6, and we already have a lot of classes that have made it and a lot that are close. We have Mrs. Mua's class, Mrs. Cecil's class, and Mrs. Garcia's class that are already at 7. So we're going to see which class can get the most, because we may need to do something for them. And we will be having our Live the Creed assembly on February 5th, so make sure you get your certificates by then. All right, we're looking at attendance. 3rd grade is holding strong, 95.3. Barely, though, because 4th grade's right there at 95.2. So great job, 3rd grade. Keep it up, but you might want to make sure you're all coming so we can make sure 4th grade doesn't come and bump us out. All right, Mrs. Gomez and Mrs. Johnson's class worked together to make this poster for Martin Luther King Day, so I want to thank them for that. I very much appreciate it, and it looks amazing. And Mrs. Gunn would like to give a shout out to Mrs. Cecil's 3rd grade class. 2 days in a row, when Mrs. Gunn was coming in from yard duty, Mrs. Cecil's class was going out to recess for music and PE. Both days, Mrs. Gunn saw her class walking patiently all the way to recess rather than running to recess like lots of other classes are. One of those days, Mrs. Andrews' class also did the same. So she would like to say thank you. Good job, 3rd graders. 3rd grade, make sure when you go out to recess, just walk out there. As soon as you get on the playground, go have some fun. All right, Foxes on Time hot chocolate parties will be on the 6th. Here are the classes on the list so far. We have Mrs. Ray, Mrs. Johnson, Miss Morellis, Mrs. Mua, Mrs. Ellison, Miss J. Soto, Mrs. Elvang, and Mrs. Ray. We'll see who else can make that list by February 6th. And a shout out to Mrs. Hillhouse's class that made a wonderful poster to welcome Peter H. Reynolds. And here is a picture of the class with their poster. Thank you. We are so thankful to welcome our author. I am so excited for him to be here. All right, time for kindness ticket winners. Let's see who we have this week. All right, we have Kathlea from Mrs. Ellison's class for being responsible and being kind. We have Rusty from Mrs. Johnson's class for being responsible, being respectful, and being kind. Let's see. Next up, we have Dwayne from Mrs. Ellison's class for being responsible and being kind. All right, good job. Let's see. Next up, we have Audrey from Miss Sanchez's class for being kind. And last but not least, our final cut. Being good here is Camila J. from Mrs. Ward's class for being safe, being responsible, being respectful, and being kind. She did it all. So we have Kathlea, Rusty, Dwayne, Audrey, and Camila. I will be around to make sure you get your prizes this week. All right, quote of the week comes from Peter H. Reynolds. Be kind, be generous, be forgiving. We all make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. We have to learn from them. Just make sure that if you make that mistake, you try to make it right. All right, birthday books. If your birthday's at the end of the video, make sure you stop by the library for that birthday book. And I wish you a happy birthday. All right, everyone. I want you to have a great week. Let's get those foxes up. To be a fox, repeat in your mind. Be safe, be responsible, respectful, and kind. All right, have a great week. Bye.